John Macris was a notorious figure in Sydney's underworld, a man whose life was defined by crime, power, and a brutal end that shocked many. His rise in Australia's criminal world, his deep ties to drug trafficking, and his connections to organized crime painted a target on his back. After fleeing to Greece in an attempt to reinvent himself, he was gunned down in a professional hit outside his Athens home in 2018. This assassination sparked a high-profile investigation, leading to the arrest and conviction of 2 Bulgarian hitmen. Yet the question of who ordered the killing and whether it was tied to larger criminal rivalries lingers unanswered. Today, Underworld Exposé dives into John Macris's early life, his clashes with Sydney's criminal elite, his attempt at a fresh start in Greece, and the violent end that closed his chapter. I would like to ask you to write in the comments which country you are watching this video from. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Underworld Exposé and share this video with your friends. This story needs to be heard so that similar tragedies do not repeat themselves. Born in 1972 to a Greek-Australian family, John Macris grew up in Sydney's affluent northern suburbs. Despite a privileged upbringing, he was drawn to the dark allure of organized crime from a young age. By the late 2000s, Macris had carved out a place in the nightclub scene, partnering with infamous gangster Todd O'Connor to run the Good Bar nightclub on Oxford Street. O'Connor's own life ended tragically in 2008, a stark reminder of the violence that shadowed their world. Macris, however, had bigger ambitions, setting his sights on King's Cross, Sydney's notorious hub of crime and nightlife. His criminal ventures extended far beyond nightclubs. Alleged ties to the Comanchero Motorcycle Club kept him on law enforcement's radar, and in 2005, he was sentenced to over 2 years in prison for supplying a commercial quantity of drugs and handling suspected stolen goods. During a police raid, narcotics were discovered stashed in a Versace tin at his Surrey Hills apartment. Crime wasn't just John's domain, his family was entangled too. In 2011, his father, Stelios Macris, was arrested after authorities found 50 kilograms of amphetamine oil, enough to produce millions in methamphetamine, in his Ford Falcon station wagon and at his Central Coast property. Stelios secured a $2.1 million bail and was later acquitted in 2014 when his son, Alex Macris, confessed to tricking their father into transporting the drugs unknowingly. Alex, who admitted his role, escaped punishment by providing evidence that incriminated himself, earning immunity in return. Despite his rap sheet, John Macris gained a degree of fame in Australia, partly due to his high-profile romance with socialite Roxy Jachenko, who ran Sweaty Betty PR. But it was his bitter feud with the Ibrahim family, one of Sydney's most formidable crime dynasties, that truly thrust him into the spotlight. Initially, Macris and John Ibrahim were business allies, both immersed in the King's Cross nightclub scene. Their partnership soured around 2007, likely over disputes about money, control, or conflicting visions for their ventures. The rift turned explosive in June 2009 when Fady Ibrahim, John Ibrahim's younger brother, was shot 5 times outside his Castle Cove home while sitting in his Lamborghini. Fady slipped into a coma, and his girlfriend, Shada Ibrahim, was wounded in the thigh. Suspicion immediately fell on John Macris, fueled by a recent brawl at the Ivy nightclub, where Fady had knocked out John's brother, Alex. The Ibrahim family, including Fady and his brother Michael, believed Macris orchestrated the attack. Seeking vengeance, Michael Ibrahim, then incarcerated in Broken Hill Jail, allegedly used a smuggled phone and coded messages to plot John Macris's murder, enlisting associate Rodney Atkinson to carry it out. In September 2009, police raided Atkinson's home, uncovering a chilling arsenal: a .22 caliber pistol, a .45 caliber pistol, a bulletproof vest, photos of John Macris, his license plate numbers, a police badge, a silenced Ruger rifle, heroin, and steroids. Atkinson denied any intent to kill, claiming he only planned to rob Macris of drugs and cash. He offered no comment during questioning. In 2013, both Michael Ibrahim and Atkinson were acquitted of conspiracy to murder due to a lack of direct evidence. No intercepted conversations explicitly detailed the plot, and their coded communications weren't enough to secure a conviction. I would like to ask you to write in the comments which country you are watching this video from. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Underworld Exposé and share this video with your friends. This story needs to be heard so that similar tragedies do not repeat themselves. Around 2012, John Macris fled to Greece, hoping to outrun his enemies and start anew. Known in Athens as Austral, meaning the Australian in Greek, he sought to shed his underworld past. In 2016, he married Victoria Kyriakou, a Greek-Ukrainian former Playboy model who'd risen to fame on Greek television. Their lavish Mykonos wedding drew media attention. Kyriakou, born in Ukraine in 1985, had moved to Greece as a teen, transitioning from hairdressing to modeling and winning the 2003 Miss Tourism Queen of the Year International. She later became a TV personality on shows like My Style Rocks. The couple had 2 children, Alexandra and Achilles. In Athens, Macris pivoted to legitimate business, becoming a partner in My Services, a company offering private security, hospitality staffing, cleaning, facility management, and money transfers for Athens' elite, celebrities, politicians, and oligarchs. Despite his claims of reform, the opaque funding behind My Services raised eyebrows, with whispers of lingering ties to his criminal past. In the months before his death, Macris reportedly bolstered security around himself and his fortified Voula villa, hinting at fears of retribution. On October 31, 2018, his precautions failed. As he left his home in Voula's Panorama area to attend the launch of My Services, ironically branded with the motto, "We believe in keeping you safe," a lone gunman ambushed him. Macris, opting for his smart car instead of his garage Lamborghini, stepped into the trap. CCTV footage captured the assailant, face obscured by a low cap, firing 6 shots through the passenger window at 8:10 p.m. 4 bullets struck Macris in the chest, stomach, and shoulder. He stumbled from the car, trying to escape, but the gunman pursued, reportedly shouting, "I'm going to finish him off!" before Macris collapsed, lifeless. The killer vanished into the night. At the time, Kyriakou was modeling at Athens' exclusive Designers Week, and their children were inside the villa, unaware of the horror unfolding. Stelios, John's 82-year-old father, was the first family member at the scene. A neighbor, alerted by gunshots, found John's bullet-riddled body, while others called police or watched fearfully from balconies. The investigation moved swiftly. 4 days later, on November 4th, John Macris was laid to rest in a heavily guarded funeral at Agios Nektarios Church in Voula. Black-clad security blocked outsiders, and no wreaths or notices were allowed per the family's wishes. Kyriakou, clutching her 6-year-old daughter's hand, was overcome with grief, while John's mother-in-law collapsed outside the church. A single white carnation wreath marked the somber farewell. His body was later flown to Sydney for burial. Kyriakou reportedly went into hiding with their children, deleting her social media and reeling from both loss and revelations about John's past, which friends claimed she knew nothing about. Greek police probed whether the murder tied to Macris's underworld history, particularly his feud with the Ibrahim family, though no evidence linked them directly. Instead, authorities suspected a botched drug deal. On April 2, 2019, a breakthrough came with the arrest of Julianov Serafim, a Bulgarian national of Turkish descent, in Athens' Gazi area. Caught with fake licenses, Serafim was suspected of planning another hit. He and his brother Milan had entered Greece from Bulgaria on October 12, 2018, leaving the day after the murder. A clothing store receipt matched the gunman's attire in CCTV footage, tying Serafim to the crime. Milan was extradited in July 2019, and their trial began in July 2020. Despite their defense claiming they were mere tourists, Kyriakou identified Serafim's distinctive ponytail in the footage. In September 2020, Serafim was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to 18 years. Milan, deemed the getaway driver, received 10 years, potentially reducible to 3 with parole. In April 2023, Milan's conviction was overturned on appeal due to reasonable doubt, while Serafim remains imprisoned. The mastermind behind the hit remains unknown, with theories pointing to a broader criminal power struggle. Around the same time, other Greek underworld figures, like former Comanchero boss Jay Maloon, faced attacks, including a 2019 car bombing, but no confirmed links to Macris's murder emerged. John Macris' assassination left his family broken. Kyriakou grapples with raising their children alone, and Stelios, devastated, vows never to return to Greece. While justice has partially prevailed, the full truth may remain buried, a haunting reminder of the cost of a life steeped in crime. I would like to ask you to write in the comments which country you are watching this video from. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Underworld Exposé and share this video with your friends. This story needs to be heard so that similar tragedies do not repeat themselves.